All right, thanks.
Hi, Tableau. How you doing? It's been a long road. I'm an enterprise applications administrator. I support CERT and CVent for the team that handles Tableau conference, on tours, and partner summits. My other name is Staff Sergeant Cala. I've been in the military now for about 15 years. My first 10 years while on active duty, I was an infantryman. I went to Iraq 3 times, did 3 different combat deployments, suffered unimaginable things by seeing people not come back home. About a few years ago, while being in the National Guard, I volunteered to be on an honor guard funeral detail. And I received a phone call that said, "Sergeant Cala, we need your assistance." I said, "No problem. What do I need to do?" They said, "We just need you to put on your regular uniform. We'll tell you when we get to the flight line." Flight line means that there's an active duty soldier that has passed away, and they need a soldier to go on the belly of the plane and make sure that the cardboard comes off the casket. And so my job, my mission that day was to go underneath the belly of the plane with a baggage employee and make sure that the soldier was held to the utmost honor. So I had to go on the belly of the plane, have a straight face, and take off the cardboard. The most important thing was to make sure that the stripes were pointed down, which is feet first. And it was that moment when I saw the next of kin for that soldier that I realized that the memories of the soldiers that I had lost overseas came full circle. So over years of trying to integrate into society, somehow, some way, I found Team Tableau, and Tableau has been supportive through this journey. About a year ago, an organization called Building Homes for Heroes awarded me with a mortgage-free home, and that's why I live in Florida and I work as remote. Through that journey, I've had a lot of survivor's guilt. The VA prescribed me 14 different medications, and I didn't want to take any more medication. So I sought out help from different organizations. One organization in particular, Canines for Warriors. Next slide, please. Canines for Warriors is dedicated to providing service canines to our warriors suffering from post-traumatic stress disability and traumatic brain injury and military sexual trauma as a result of military service post 9/11. Their goal is to empower service members to return to civilian life with dignity and independence. So I applied for a service dog around the time that I got my house because I knew that a lot of memories would surface. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you're really lucky, Anthony. You don't have a house." And I said to them, "I'm not really lucky. I did my service so that my kids, my friends, wouldn't have to do or see what I'd have to do. And I did it because I wanted to serve my country." Next slide, please. So fast forward a year, I just got back from medical leave, from training with my service dog. And so a lot of questions that are asked to me is, what is a service dog? So there's different types of service dogs. I had no idea there was. There's medical alert dogs, there's psychiatric service dogs, and mobility dogs. There really is no place that I really can't go with my service dog now. Next slide, please. So there is the American Disabilities Act that is sanctioned by the state and the federal government to allow people that have trained service dogs to basically go anywhere that they can go. I'm asked all the time, what is appropriate to ask someone who has a service dog? And basically the only real question you can really ask is that a service dog? My answer is yes, it's a service dog. Is this for a disability? I say yes, it is. And then they ask me, what task does the service dog perform? And so on the previous slide, you may have saw it said mobility and alert dog. So next slide, please. So my service dog's name is Judy. She is a golden labradoodle. She's almost 2 years old. Some people ask me all the time, well, why did they give an infantryman a poodle? And I say, you know what? I have no idea. But actually, I do have an idea. So on my second and third deployment, pretty much all my deployments, I was around burn pits. On my third deployment, we were pulling security on an oil refinery. And in Iraq, they don't follow the same environmental compliance as they do here in the States. So when I get sick, I have really bad asthma. When I arrived to Canines about 2 months ago, day 0, I had no idea what dog I was going to get. Day 1 is dog day. And they lined us all up in a line. There was 12 of us. And I remember like it was yesterday because they said, what was your name? And I forgot my name. I had no idea. I had no idea what dog I was going to get. And I saw Judie, and it was just like emotions because, you know, being with PTS is sometimes very overwhelming. And sometimes people just look at me and say, oh, well, you got your arms, you got your legs. I don't see anything wrong with you. And I said, oh, that's awesome. I wish it was as simple as that. So when I met Judie for the first time, I realized that I would not have to shelter myself anymore, that I wouldn't have to not go out in public with my family. I call my family my service humans up to the point that I got my service dog. But Judie was an owner surrender. She was there for about a year prior to me coming. She's very smart. She's very intelligent. She's got my back. She knows I'm not nervous right now because she's actually laying on the floor right now, which is kind of ironic. But it's been a long journey. It's been an awesome journey with Tableau. The lady that I'm standing right next to in this picture is my sponsor. She, with her organization, has raised over $150,000 for canines and veterans to be a team. And I got a chance to meet her and thank her. The gentleman with the long beard, his late wife is how Judie's name came. So we had a moment on graduation. It's kind of a funny story. The nickname that I gave Judie is Big Bootie Judie because I didn't know at the time that poodles like to, give their booty to you to play with you. So I said, well, that's a perfect nickname. So everybody started calling Big Bootie Judie. So I apologized to the gentleman and said, I'm really sorry that. And we had a moment. And we cried, and I said, thank you for your wonderful gift. I hope to accomplish many things, and hopefully this will help with not taking 14 different medications to be normal. And we had a moment. So it's been a long road. If you go on the slide, if you go back one slide, Tiffany. So you see, one of the questions that I get all the time is, can I pet a service dog? Well, I understand. I love you guys very much. I work with you guys all the time. But when Judie is in her best, she's working. I know sometimes it may seem that Judie's sleeping. My mother-in-law made a comment to me when we went out to dinner the other day. She goes in Spanish, because I don't speak Spanish. My wife had to translate. And says, why is your service dog sleeping? She's not doing anything for you. And I said, well, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do, because right now I'm eating, I'm calm, so she's going to sleep. But we are attached by an umbilical cord leash, so she can feel my emotions. So when you see me come into the office, please don't try to touch Judie. Please don't whistle. Don't clap. It is very different now, because I used to be able just to go into a room and no one would recognize, but now I have a service dog that has a mohawk. I gave her a mohawk. I said, she's a poodle. Everyone's looking at her. It's my personality. So, I just want to you go to the next slide, please. Just want to give a shout out to thanks to Brian, to Joe, to Heather, Norman, and Dean, and also HR, Emily and Catherine. They've been very supportive with this journey. It was very abnormal to have a person in operations go to a remote position. I've been doing it for a year now and trying to support. I want to give a special shout out thanks to my number one TPMs, Kate and Jocelyn. They've been very supportive through this journey. And so thank you. That's all I have.